For today's deck testing video, we are going to be revisiting a deck that I have had on this channel in the past, but with the addition of some new tools. So this is what I call Unrelenting Monk, which is basically a deck where you try to attack over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, all with these creatures that have one attack, and you do so with Unrelenting Siege. Many of them already have Pilfer, so Master of Thieves helps trigger that as well. For the ones that do not have Pilfer, cards like Bandit Ringleader can give them Pilfer, so they get the job done. But because of Jaws of Oblivion, we get a couple of new things to stick in, and I think that they just overall make the deck better. The Ultimate Heist, this serves as like an additional win condition because we are attacking for one an awful lot, so we don't have a lot of ways to burst damage. In the past, I was using Shrewd Strategist to get buffed up Bandari Opportunists. But now instead what I'm doing is I'm hoping that these huge chunks of damage, because every time these hit, they're taking you down to the next rune, if you will. So this can do as much as 5 damage per, while also giving you a card. These just, they get the job done. Unicorn is also great in this as well, because being able to, for example, play and immediately attack with Bloodpact Messenger is a great way to draw cards. Being able to immediately attack with something like Fighters Guild Recruit is also great, and normally Unicorn's drawback is that it has to be buffed before it can give things charge that are relevant. However, our entire deck is based around these kind of irrelevant creatures that already have one attack. So Unicorn almost gives the entire deck charge. So with those new tools anyway, we're going to do what I always do. Go jump on the ladder, play 2 games, win or lose. Deck code will be in the video description, and I will say, of the decks that I have played thus far since Jaws of Oblivion came out, this one is one of my favorites, because even when you lose, a lot of times you get to do pretty ridiculous things. You know me, I like charge as a keyword, and I like to draw cards, and typically this deck does an awful lot of both. Now, theoretically, keep in mind this requires the exact perfect scenario, right? But theoretically, it is possible to win on turn 2 with this deck. Now that might sound like sheer craziness. Alright, we're against a top 100 Crusader opponent, which means they're going to be playing good stuff. And not likely... Master of Thieves is kind of super important for our deck. I think we're going to keep that. Not likely... gonna let us get off the ground. Yeah, this is okay. All right, so anyway, what I was trying to say is that you know, this deck just, even when it loses, sometimes you just draw like a bajillion cards, but it also is capable of winning on turn 2 if your opponent is also playing the Great Heist, right? So if you have the ring and you turn 1 play 2 Palace Prowlers, and then on the next turn your other 3 cards, because by turn 2 you'll have 5 cards total, if your other 3 cards are exactly your 3 Great Heists, and in the process of you using them you trigger 2 more Great Heists against your opponent, you can theoretically win that early. But
feel the Night Mother's love.
Let's get that poke. I don't think this is a Unicorn turn quite yet, but conversely, if I play the Unicorn, I can always use this to charge into that anyway, so... Oh, I guess I can't because it's got to be in the same lane. I always forget that. It is friendly creatures in this lane. Unicorn is not cross, but... So that probably should have been a trapper.
I will light the dragon.
Baron, huh?
As all true emperors must.
Baron is interesting.
There isn't a lot that will so much
So this lets us do this,
so much for a clean escape.
which lets us do this. And I mean, honestly, I don't care about the health. Like, we're keeping them from drawing cards, so I guess we'll do that. Javelin! So this is a Crusader that's also running Javelin. Okay.
You will fare no better.
So much for a clean escape.
Khajiit needs
So much for a clean escape.
So I guess we'll do this, see what we find. Sure. Let's hope for not a second javelin. That would be a bad time because the rest of our hand might let us draw a bunch more cards. Blood Dragon. Alright, so this is not Aggro Crusader like I was expecting. This is far more mid-rangey. Alright, I guess we'll start with this. This basically pays for itself.
So much for a clean escape. So much for a clean escape.
And,
You will not defeat this one.
jam this in here. See what this draws us first. Alright. Ringleader on either side is fine, but I think I want it here.
Do not
Because this allows us to draw more cards this way.
To oblivion with you. Chaos take you. Surrender, unclawed fool.
Yeah, let's take this trade. So as you can see, right, like even if we end up losing this, you just get to do a lot of fun stuff, right?
No better.
Alright. It's a shame, but not unexpected. Undying Dragon's a bit of a problem, but we do at least have the Javelin. So I suppose it's not the end of the world.
So much for a clean escape.
Let's put this here
This is interesting.
so that we
This
can
one has you
make
now.
this trade and take this Jav.
You are dead.
This gives us some
I bark and birth.
Magicka back. Don't think I want to break this rune.
There is murder
I
in
do
the
think
air.
that I want to draw another card here. Alright, so as long as our unicorn lives, this will be a nice card draw, but if it dies, we have the backup. But again, like I said, this deck just does fun stuff, right? Oh, this was Dragon Crusader all along.
Will not get past me.
Color me shocked. Unrelenting Siege is kind of hilarious, and definitely something that we're going to play. So this will get rid of this. Let's
Unclawed jaw Khajiit.
start with the things that give us a bunch of Magicka back. And
So much for a clean escape.
draw a bunch of cards while we're at it, because that seems hilarious.
This one will get what is needed.
Sure, I guess let's draw more cards, because again, like, just funny to me.
Die where you stand.
And, oh, they conceded before I got to do more. We had more cards to draw. More things to do. All right, there's game one. Like I said, it's just fun to pilot because it just does a bunch of stuff. And it does not always win. Sometimes it goes down in a blaze of glory, but it's just one of those decks that brings a smile to my face, and that's why I enjoy this particular list. But we're going to jump into game two because that's what we do. We play 2 games, win or lose. And as always, we're hoping for more wins than losses, but as long as I just get to draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of charging creatures, I'm gonna feel pretty good about it. We didn't get to play the heist that time. I'd like to play the heist at least once, but I've played a lot of heists, and I don't know what it was. The very first night the expansion came out, I was playing a version of this deck, and it felt like almost every time I heisted, I was actually hitting. I think we'll keep the master here. Throw those back. I was actually hitting prophecies, and it was always Fighters Guild recruit. The sheer number of Fighters Guild recruits that I stole was kind of mind-boggling all in that one night. I know it seems weird to use a ring on this, but
This is interesting.
we're gonna do it. And then we're going to play Blood Pact in the
Will no pain.
Shadow Lane this next turn. And hope that it survives long enough
I
for
will cut your purse.
Master of Thieves to come down and let us just draw a bajillion cards.
Die.
So we're against Invade, Guildsworn, and Rapid Shot, huh? I was expecting Execute. I will say, that is like the one downside to
I will cut your
this
purse.
current
If I fall.
current deck, right? The current meta, I guess I should say, is that with so much Invade running around because it's a new mechanic, there is an awful lot of people that are also packing as a result. Oh, this is funny. Executes.
I will end you to oblivion with you.
It's kind of funny.
You will die where you stand.
Kind of a funny top deck.
Die, weakling.
Alright. Unexpected arrival. One, two, gets that down to 3. We're not in a good spot.
You will die where you stand.
Let's do this. Just see what we draw. Like, I can spoils here, but I'd really rather spoils after this has been on the board. Just so we get discounts as well. Could play Master of Thieves, but we don't even have any pilfer options. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. This is a clunkier start compared to last time. Because we also, without like Palace Prowlers, for example, don't have good ways to trigger this at the moment, but...
I will cut your purse. Think it's worth dying for.
That's not going to be good.
Fighters Guild stands ever ready.
Alright, so now we'll do this. Another spoils. Wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but
The Black Hand sees all.
I guess. Okay, we're starting to kind of get where we want to be.
I'm ready for
Guess.
anything. I lurk in the shadows.
Wait. My scales move in shadow.
And I guess we'll do this. Because the sad thing is we got all those attacks in,
What have we here?
but none of them were true pilfer, right? So like we got multiple attacks, but we still haven't got this down in cost. Now if we top deck something like Bandit Ringleader, we can go off pretty hard. We're just in a bit of an awkward spot. We don't want to javelin this gate, but we actually might just have to javelin that gate. Javelining a gate is like the literal worst. Oh, maybe it's this now? I don't know. Could go either way on this. Alright, this helps, actually.
Think it's worth dying for.
There are always
Unclawed
deals to be
Jar Khajiit. Unclawed Jar Khajiit.
That's down to 3. Do have that Master of Thieves that'll also make it so that this becomes free.
Feel the Night Mother's love.
My scales move in shadow.
Have this do here.
My scales move in shadow.
For
Just
the
hoping
Black
for no
Hand.
I will
prophecies here.
cut your
Your
purse.
death will
Get
be
this
swift.
damage in.
Your death will be swift.
Together, we will make a fortune.
Unclawed Jar Khajiit.
Prophecy, oh no.
The Fighters Guild
Alright,
stands
that's
ever
fine.
ready.
Alright, so this is a big chunk of damage. We get to play the ultimate heist. It's just a rapid shot, but we still have more than enough here for javelin. I think we'll hit this here. It's just a question of like, what do I want to javelin? Because this makes an awful lot of sense because we don't want them jamming up the invade stuff. But this is already pretty high, and we don't want them rolling random keywords and getting charge and drain. So we'll actually just javelin that. We just have to trust that we've got enough on the board otherwise. Leaving this up feels bad, but they could play a bunch of actions, and then again, what you're more concerned about is them rolling like charge and drain on a couple of creatures. That's our biggest concern. So we're just trying to put ourselves in a position where we can push this last bit of damage. But the good news is we got to Great Heist.
I will live forever,
you know,
in paradise.
We got to play the Great Heist. Show off some of the new cards. Wow, Ice Bite? They're gonna give me a rune break? Oh, this deals just 2 damage. I thought it was to the opponent. Well, that changes everything. And, okay. Guess it doesn't change everything. I just thought it was to the opponent, like a Hex Mage. But nonetheless, there you have it. That is 2 games. Both happen to be wins. This is a deck, like I said, that I just really enjoy because even when you lose, you typically get to do a bunch of stuff. And that's always fun. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you're new. And until next time, may you walk on warm sands.